year is 1991. The empire of evil no longer exists. The prayers of many Jews in the West have been fulfilled. Soviet Jewry is free. No pharaoh is holding them back any longer. Over 1 million of them will set out to the land of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, to Israel. But to begin life anew in a foreign country is no easy task. The musicians and doctors, scientists and authors of yesterday are forced to sweep the streets, wash floors, and do other demeaning work in order to feed their families and establish themselves in their new country. Under these circumstances, adults often did not give enough attention to their children, and the children were out in the streets. The results were not long in coming. Despair, immorality, drugs, skinheads in Israel. What now? Or Torah, translated as the Light of Torah, is an organization which, it seems, knows what to do and tries to get these teenagers away from the street, brightening their souls with the light of Torah. After class, Or Torah activists pick the youngsters up from school and bring them directly to the Kollel, to the Talmud. This somewhat unusual way to spend their leisure time has made many of them turn their lives around. I was a real punk. I partied, drank, smoked, and now I learn Torah. Try not to drink and smoke. Keep Shabbos, kashrus. To every teenager, a personal teacher is assigned, his chavrusa. In this manner, thanks to this age-old system of learning in pairs, the boys begin getting through to the depth of Jewish wisdom and become links in the chain of generations who learn Torah. And everything began when my school teacher, Rabbi Yomin Kotler, invited me here. Like, come just once, you'll enjoy it. And if you don't like it, you'll leave. He was right. I enjoyed it. In school, there was a time when I really hated religion. But then, these people turned up and took me out of that and taught me to love Torah. How did they do it? Simply by a miracle. From total hatred of Judaism, I became a religious person. Our main trick is to love these boys. We give them warmth. We become their friends. And this is basically what they are lacking. In general, many among today's youth are looking for spirituality. We need only create opportunities for them. Now I even bring new halachas home and teach my parents something. It also helps me to do better in school. In the future, I see myself studying medicine, but definitely learning Gemara. Or Torah is not only youth programs. Early in the morning, long before the workday begins, people of various ages and learning levels gather in one of the commercial areas of Jerusalem. They are united by the morning Kollel of Or Torah, with which they begin their day. They pray together, then sit down in pairs and immerse themselves in the Gemara. There aren't many places where the program and learning time are so convenient. During the day I work, in the evening there's my family, the children, but I also have to learn somehow. Before I go to the army, I learn here. I like it very much. It's a good place. In this Kollel, they have close personal relationships with the students. They help the students in life. Me, for example, they help me find a wife. The Kollel is also a close, happy family. Today, these people feel quite confident about learning Gemara. Many have finished more than one tractate of the Talmud. But it was here that the majority of them seriously encountered Gemara and real Torah learning in general for the first time. Here they taught me to love Talmud, to love Torah. Now I myself teach in this Kollel. I really started learning, really started getting into the Gemara only here. Now I came back here, this time as a teacher. It all began about 7 years ago when a small Russian-speaking Kollel opened in one of the suburbs of Jerusalem. A modest 5 to 6 chavrusas. Most of them were beginners. But the idea of a Russian-speaking Kollel from zero attracted quite a large audience. So it happened that a small Russian Kollel in Gilo turned into a successful religious organization. This project owes much of its creation and success to a person who knows from his own experience what a Baal Tshuva is and what it is like to discover Torah at a mature age. Rav Michael Gochberg. An encounter with him has shaped many lives. At some point, I met Rav Gochberg, And because he's an inspiring personality who knows how to get you interested, I began to like learning. Rav Gochberg is a charismatic personality. We learned Derech Hashem with him, and he explained not only what was written there, but he also brought many things from outside. Thanks to him, I started wearing a kippah after a year. He was always happy to welcome me. He learned with me until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, even though he actually had children, a family, a Kollel in the morning. I mean, he left everything and was just there for me. Those boys from Russia have tremendous potential. People who don't even have a basic Jewish education, in 1, 2, 3 years, begin to learn on the level of Israeli Avrechim, who've been learning for many years. It's probably not by chance that in the past few generations, the greatest Gedolei Hador were from Russia. There must be some meaning to that. Today, 75 Balabatim and about 30 school children participate in the programs of Or Torah. Regular classes for women are organized as well. An important principle in the work of Or Torah is to focus on Torah study while helping their students with any kind of questions connected to Jewish life. My brother came to Israel from Ukraine for only a few days on some student program. So we decided to use the opportunity and talk him into making a circumcision. I called Rav Gochberg, and he, on Friday, Erev Shabbos, leaving everything behind, came with us to Tel Aviv to catch my brother on one of his trips. Only through a miracle did we escape the guards, because the organizers of the program were against this idea. And we put him in the car and took him to Jerusalem, where he was successfully circumcised. Now, my brother is a serious Avrech in an Israeli yeshiva. Concerning all questions of principle, the Or Torah leadership consults with the greatest rabbis of our generation. Rav Goyen Rav Zvulun Schwarzman Shlita is the honorary president of the organization. If we have an organization whose whole essence is to carry Torah, similarly to how the Kohanim carried the Holy Ark, Or Torah can serve as the best example of such an organization. After the terrible Soviet Golus, after long years of darkness, the Avrechim and Talmidei Chachomim of this organization carry the light of Torah among the immigrants from Russia. We only have to make sure to support this ark. It is time to support it. We could open many more programs because, thank God, there are Avrechim who can and want to teach. And there's a large demand for this among Russian-speaking Jews. And if we had more possibilities, we could without a doubt significantly improve and expand our activities. All our prayers are for this project to develop further, because there is an unprecedented demand. Not only tens, but hundreds of teenagers want to join us. We simply have no right to stop at what we have achieved. Or Torah, translated as the light of Torah.